Azizi 公司是迪拜领先的房地产开发商，房产主要集中于棕榈岛、Alpha Jam 以及 Business Bay 地区，内容涉及高级大户型公寓楼、开间、一室公寓房及服务式公寓。作为家族企业，Azizi 公司的事业版图遍布几大领域，除了房地产开发，还涉及有银行项目，为投资者提供多样的付费方式和贷款模式。Azizi 房产大亨法哈德先生做客本期迪拜会客厅。在迪拜房地产市场竞争激烈的情况下，他们将如何脱颖而出
We believe in our offices that the most important thing for a development and construction, deliver on time, build it on the right quality, and be very transparent with your customers.
他们进行房地产开发又有哪些策略
We look at the location, obviously. We see where the future is going to be in that area because project could be 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
他们的行事风格将如何
And the things we keep in mind is what is a customer looking for today in today's world.
前来迪拜投资Azizi 的房产回报率将如何
That's a good return on investment. If a property is purchased today and it's rented out, the rents are very good.
本期迪拜会客厅，我们将会走进迪拜领先的房地产开发商Azizi，探索其成功历程，剖析迪拜房地产市场及投资回报。精彩马上开始。
Hello, Mr. Fahad. Good morning. Nice to see you here.
Thank you very much.
Azizi is one of the most popular choice in City Sky Dubai. And what's the most important things to distinguish it from others?
And we're very happy to have a very busy stand this year. So we've been always busy, but this year was especially very busy because we've been launching very good projects. The locations are very good. What makes our company different than many other developers in the city or internationally is that Azizi Development is part of a larger group, which is called Azizi Group. And Azizi Group is into banking, it's into oil and gas business, and then we're into the real estate business. So these three businesses are very core businesses and they all support each other. So to start a project, what we do first is we start the construction. We are well into construction, we hire the contractor, everything is in place, then we open it for sales. And that helps the investor, the home buyer, when he visits our project, most of the work has already started. The construction is at 10%, 15%.
Yeah.
That is not the case internationally. Many developers would want to be in a position where they are secure, you know, they open it for sales off plan.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. Our payment plan have been very good. And the location obviously is very important for a home buyer or an investor. We're on the Palm Jumeirah, we're in Al Furjan, which is a great location for investment purposes. And it's very accessible to the airport. It's accessible by metro. We're opening in a new location which is called the Healthcare City. And to be in Healthcare City, the master developer, they are very picky in choosing a developer to work with. So they have selected Azizi Developments because we focus on construction. We believe in our offices that the most important thing for a development and construction, deliver on time, build it on the right quality, and be very transparent with your customers. So those unique formulas has helped Azizi Developments expand to a point where today 20 different projects are under construction. Yeah, so it's a lot of projects, and they're all big buildings.
I'm very lucky to get two very important information in the exhibition. And one is this form I got from the sales manager.
Okay.
Yeah, and he told me all the information marked in green already sold.
Okay.
And another one is this, is
Actually,
magic
that building is
flares.
completely sold out now. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yes,
Wow,
it's sold
that's
out and
amazing.
it's handed over also. It's handed out to the customers. And the project you just mentioned, that's one of the things that makes us a 360 developer. So we bought a land, we constructed it, we sold it, and we handed over. So the building that you showed me earlier, Azizi Firuz, has been already handed over to customers. Yasmin is handed over. People are living in them, and they're happy with the quality, with everything. So it's a special point where when you deliver a home on time, the customers are very happy.
Wow, that's nice. And I still have some questions. Could you please explain the Azizi's strategies in Dubai for us?
Well, when we get into any project, we make sure that our research is done properly. So the engineering department, the sales department, marketing department, business development, and then we also look for feasibility studies that are from outside of our office. We look at the location, obviously. We see where the future is going to be in that area, because project could be 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and we want to make sure that the whole master community will be developed properly. Like the Al Furjan area, when we started investing in the land in Al Furjan, we looked at the master community. We knew that there's going to be a metro coming. We knew there are going to be, schools that's going to be built. The town centers are going to build. Shopping malls are nearby. The marina was developing very quickly. We look at all those things, and we then invest into a land and we start developing it. The things we keep in mind is what is a customer looking for today in today's world. There's two types, obviously. There's investors who want to make returns, and they would rent it or resell it later on. And then there are end users. So if a project is for end users, we design it for end users purposes. So the apartments are a bit bigger. The facilities are made so that the children could play, and there's more open areas in it. There's a little supermarket downstairs, there's a laundry room, and this and this and that. If it's an investor-made project, then usually they're a bit smaller because it's easy to rent. They're mostly furnished as well. Investors want to buy a property where they don't have to go and look for furniture and this and that. And also we give them services of renting it for them. So we do the whole operation for them. We'll collect checks on their behalf and all that. So that strategy has been, the main strategy in our company is to be simple, to be straightforward, simple. We don't complicate things. When you come and invest with us, we make sure that we have done enough construction which is ahead of the amount of money that you have invested. And that strategy, we just think that simplicity is the new rule of doing, a good business ethics and all that. So that's our strategy. Just be straightforward, transparent with your clients, with the authorities, with everybody else.
You mean this project is very worthy to invest for it, right?
It depends on who is buying, right? Like, for example, if you invest with us on the Palm is a luxurious place, and it's good to buy a Palm property as a second home. So if you have a home, let's say back home in China, and you want to visit Dubai every winter, it would be good to buy a property on the Palm. It's on the beach, it's very beautiful. Now, if you're a family person, it's good to buy in Al Furjan because it's a family community. The schools are nearby, the shopping malls. And then if you're a professional with a smaller family, let's say, it's best to buy in Healthcare City. It's close to Sheikh Zayed Road, it's close to downtown. It's a very close area, good community to travel around. It's easy to mobile. So young families who are working families, maybe even for doctors, because it's close to Healthcare City. So depending on who is buying, for investors, we have something. For end users, we have something. For visitors, with a little bit of more money to invest, the Palm is there, and it's a different quality of property, obviously.
Can you introduce some important project for us?
Well, all of our projects are very important to us.
Which one is the most important?
The most important, I would say, the project on the Palm, which is called Mina. It's named after my daughter, and that's why it's very important. But it's also on the Palm, and it's a very luxurious project. It's located on the Crescent, just next to Anantara Hotel. Now, every apartment has a view to the sea. Even the kitchen sometimes has a view to the sea. So this is a beautiful project. It's under construction now. We launched it a few months back, and the facilities that are provided in this project are amazing. There is penthouses on the top floor, 6 penthouses. Each one has their own swimming pool and jacuzzi and sauna and all that. And it has a very big terrace with beautiful views of the Palm and the marina. And the whole building itself has swimming pools and access to private beach. So that project is very unique, and it's one of the very uniquely shaped. It looks like a wave if you compare it to many other properties in the Palm. This one, when it's constructed, will look very beautiful. There's obviously other projects in Al Furjan and that are also very unique. One of the projects that we have recently launched is called the Candace properties, and it's on the main road. These properties are service apartments. What's unique about it is that there was so much demand. When we opened it for sales, it was literally sold out in 2 weeks. Two separate buildings next to each other, and what our clients liked about it is that it's completely furnished, smaller units, and very close to the metro, very close to the town center. So the building itself makes so much sense to live into it. And then obviously the Healthcare City project is very unique, which we're launching very soon. This project has same facilities as the one in the Palm. When it comes to being a building where everything is available, you don't have to go out. So it has restaurants on the ground floor. It has its own swimming pool. It has a laundry facility. It has supermarkets available, and the building is designed in such a way that it's unique to the master community. So we look at all the other buildings, and then we tell our engineers, please design something that's unique, because Dubai is all about special, and the Palm is special, the Burj Khalifa is special. There's so many beautiful buildings in Dubai. If you want to compete, you have to build something beautiful. So the Healthcare City project is going to be constructed and handed over in 2 years. I hope you'll get a chance to see it. It's going to look different than every other building in that area, and the Palm as well. So those 2 projects or 3 projects are very important to myself.
So I can say you're really full of love to your families. That's why you use your daughter's name to give that important project.
She is the eldest grandchild to my father, so it was his idea. He wanted to take her name and put it on the project, and her name is Mina, so the project name is Mina as well. And Mina is easy to pronounce. Has a lot of Mina means love in our language, so that project is love. Yeah, so obviously we have a lot of passion for all our projects.
I think love is very important for house, for family, for everything.
True. I mean, because when I provided those keys to the customers, to a few of them, I know that I didn't just give them a home. It was more of an emotional attachment. After a few years when they live there, they will be so attached to that house. They will have their families there. Their children will grow there, and it's a community that they'll have neighbors, they'll have friends there, and they become very attached to it. It's not just another box that's been built. It's an emotion, and that feeling is very important when you give the key and they tell you the stories that I'm going to move here in a few months. I'm going to live with my family. I will have kids here. That's the best thing when we're in this business. Like I've worked in our bank as well. Banking business is a bit boring. But this business is very good. I enjoy it because we're into the business of emotions and feeling and passion. So it's really something that I'm personally very proud of.
You have mix of multiple residential projects as well as service apartment. How would typical buyers choose between these 2 types?
Well, one of the things that's becoming very popular in the city, in Dubai especially, I think internationally, is that a lot of the buyers are young people now.
Yeah, exactly.
They are they're your age. They go maybe borrow the money from banks.
Yeah, exactly.
They invest into a property. They want a smaller property, but with a lot of facilities. They want it to be fully furnished. They want to have a nice swimming pool and jacuzzi and sauna and a lot of services in the building. Those are the hotel apartment buildings. They are serviced apartments. So when you walk in, you think you're walking into a hotel, but it's not a hotel. It's a serviced residential property. But it has the same facilities like a 3-star or a 4-star hotel. And the lobby is furnished, everything is good. And then there is the normal residential property. The residential property, as I mentioned earlier, are a bit bigger. We don't furnish them. The customers have their own option of furnishing it. There is 3-bedroom apartments. There's 2 bedrooms, 1 bedrooms. The apartments are much larger. There is no restaurants at the ground floor or coffee shops or this and that. On the serviced ones, there is a lot of other things, a lot of other facilities. So when we look at our investors who have invested in property, there is more young people, young families that are investing in the serviced apartments, and then bigger families, they like the bigger apartments, the 3 bedrooms and all that. So we have both the categories. Even now in the Palm is like that, in healthcare cities like that, in Al Furjan as well. The type that is becoming popular nowadays is these serviced apartments. So there is more projects coming in the future which are serviced apartments, and those are the most popular. There is more demand for it nowadays.
By the way, you do have a lot of competitors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, but how can you fighting with them to have bigger market shares?
I think competition is healthy in Dubai.
Yeah.
If I'm developing in Al Furjan and there is another developer developing, then we together are developing the whole community. So it helps the city, it helps the master community, and at the end of the day, that developer and Azizi have to look at the market price and price our project accordingly. So if I price it very high and he prices very low, obviously maybe he'll sell it quicker than I do. But there is demand, there is need, there is a lot of demand coming to the whole country actually, especially to Dubai. If they are sold out, eventually our property will be sold as well. So the competition has been there, but it's very healthy competition, and the payment plan, the prices, the type of apartments is all dictated by the market. The market is a very transparent market. It's not in the hands of one developer or the authorities or anybody else. That's the beauty of Dubai. Things are very clean and clear.
So could you please explain the further information about the payment, which is very beneficial for...
The payment plan?
Yeah.
Most of our projects, the payment plan is 30-70.
Yeah.
So 30% during construction and 70% at handover. Now that 30%, in a normal project, if you're developing it, usually the land cost is 30%, construction cost is 40 to 50%, and developers, after all other expenses paid, they make about 15 to 20% profit. So when we are with a home buyer, we tell them our formula. We tell them this is my land cost, this is my construction, this is our profit, and it's going to be delivered in 18 months. So when they see that the land has been paid fully by us, and only the construction, a portion of it they're paying, then that gives them a lot of confidence. They know that the developer has the money to invest in their own projects. That's why we always are going to have in our future projects a 30-70 payment plan. And the other benefit of this payment plan is the banking system. The banks here, they finance up to 75% for expats and up to 90%, I believe, for UAE nationals. So with the 30-70 payment plan, it's pretty easy for them. When they pay the 30%, at that time, if they want to go get a mortgage, at the time they have already committed the 30%, and it will be easy for them to get bank financing. And to get the bank financing, we have a strong mortgage department in our company. The mortgage department will make sure that your A to Z complete paperwork is taken care of within our office. You don't have to visit the banks or anything. We look for the best interest rate for you, for the best banks, and we make sure your paperwork is in line. We get you pre-approval. So that makes it pretty easy. Like if a property is 1 million dirham, with up to 300,000 dirhams investment, you can become a home owner with the help of the mortgage department when they get you the. So it's easy it just made it easier for home buyers to buy a property. And instead of paying the whole million up front, we make sure that we build an investment, or how do I say, a financial proposal is given to them from our company just to make their life easy.
And like recently, we have some policy, so One Road, One Initiative. This helps China and Dubai have more close relationship, and lots of like Chinese, they will come to Dubai to invest, especially for real estate. Could you please give us 3 reasons why we should choose Azizi?
Well, first of all, I'm so happy that the relationship is getting closer. I've heard that there is more flights also between UAE and China, and that helps a lot. And they're going to a lot of smaller cities. So when that mobility is available, the flights are available, it will grow interest for more people to come here. Already we have clients from China who have invested with us, and they're pretty happy. I hope, the ones I have met, they're happy with us. I think investing, whether they invest with Azizi Developments or they invest with any developer in UAE, it's a good idea for them, because when you invest in any city, you have to look at whether the property is profitable, whether the rents are good, the yields are good. Then you have to look at the city. The security is good, the system is good, the police system, the court system, the whole government system, the safety obviously being very important, and whether it meets all the international standards. And I think Dubai meets every international standard. When you compare Dubai to Paris, or compare to New York, or to Singapore, to Hong Kong, Dubai is one of those cities. So for an investor to invest, I don't know, I know a lot of people from China, they invest in Australia, Vancouver, in Canada.
Exactly.
The things that Vancouver provides them, they are available in Dubai as well. And they need to come and see it. And it doesn't have to be only with us. If they go to any developer here, they'll notice that if a property was purchased 10 years ago, today that property has become 30, 40, 50% more expensive. That's a good return on investment. If a property is purchased today and it's rented out, the rents are very good, 7% up to 10, 15% some places. Return on your property per year. That's a very high number when you compare it to Europe or compare it to North America. I don't know how the market is in China, but if you compare it to many places, 7% to 10% is a very good number.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I think it's good. Now they get visa on arrival.
Yeah, exactly.
Dubai is a good city. It gets a bit hot in summer, but otherwise it's very
Passionate.
good. Yes, it is. And the nightlife is good. Everything is good about Dubai. I've lived here all my life, so I like it. I don't know how others see it, but I was in China recently, and every time I mention that I've come from Dubai, they will say, "Wow, it's nice, the Palm, the Burj Khalifa." They like Dubai. They just have to, take the next step of visiting it and seeing it and visiting the place.
Like lots of Chinese think Dubai is luxury city.
It's luxury, but it's not very expensive. If you,
exactly.
There is a lot of things that are expensive if you want, but if you do your study, you can find properties that are affordable. You can find schools that are affordable. Things that a person could live very comfortable. So it's luxurious, but also affordable. That's very important.
Can you tell us some particular Azizi service?
Well, one of the things we are doing to providing to our customers is that when the property is handed over to them, then we have after handover services. So they could give it back to us, and we will rent it for them. We would be happy to maintain it for them, like the full maintenance of the property, because maintenance is of the whole building is there, but the maintenance of the property is available. We furnish the property for them. So we have different options of furniture. If somebody wants to buy luxurious furniture or this and that, we give them the options, and then Azizi Developments will take that step of taking care of your property. So, if somebody just buys a property and they go back home to, let's say, to China or to Europe, whoever they are, they can be comfortable back home that there is a company, Azizi Developments, that will give them all the services. Who will collect checks on their behalf, who will rent out the property, who will furnish it, who will maintain it. So that's one of the things we've been working on, and it's going pretty successful. Of course, there's a list of services that we provide, like mortgage and having properties with which are hotel apartments, properties which are just residential. But one of the new things that we're very proud of is the after handover service. When you give the key, then after that we make sure that the customer is still satisfied and he's happy with his home, and then he could rely on us completely.
Do you have particular target customers?
Well, we obviously are open to sell our properties to anybody, but one of the bigger investors in the whole UAE is obviously the GCC nationals. There's a lot of investors from India, from Pakistan, from Europe, from Australia. There are investors. We cater to everybody, so we leave it out to the natural cycle And one of the things the natural cycle has allowed is that we could see that more European buyers are investing in the Palm. You know, they like the sun and the beach and all that. And in Al Furjan, there's a lot of GCC nationals. There's also investors from China. There are investors from India. In the healthcare city, we haven't opened it, but there's more demand coming from that community of doctors. You know, they're signing up. They want to live close to the hospitals they work into, and a lot of other professionals from DIFC is close to them. So, as a developer, we want to be a developer that can solve your problem of finding a home. When you come into our office, we want to be a developer that can give you property on the Palm, Al Furjan, Healthcare City. In the future, we're going to Ajman. We're looking into Abu Dhabi. We're looking into downtown. So that's the culture. We want to make sure it's very easy for home buyers. Their problems have to be solved within our office. Whether they are investors, you know, end users, they like one area or another area. We want to be an A to Z developer, like Azizi.
So now how many like the market share you have?
We have 20 projects under construction. 20 are under construction, and they're all big buildings. We have handed over 2 buildings already. End of this month, we're handing over another building. End of November, another building, and then end of December, another. So almost every month there is a building that's going to be handed over, and new projects are starting up. Next year, we're starting 10 to 15 new projects, completely new. Right now, 20 under construction. It's a lot of units. They're all, like, every building has more than 100 units.
Mr. Fahad, for closing, how do you view the Dubai property market from medium to long run? Is it the right time to invest?
I think it's the right time to invest. Last year was even better. This year is good because I think in 2017 the prices are going to go up when we're getting closer to the Expo 2020. I think prices are going to go up a bit. 2018 is going to be a bit more expensive. Right now interest rates in the banks are low, so it's easy to borrow money. Banks are also willing, they're helpful. And then when it comes to properties, there's a lot of good options to buy from. So I personally think it's a good time to buy. Next year is a good time to buy as well, but it will be a little bit more expensive. That's what we have projected it, that next year is going to be 5 to 10% more expensive. At least our property is going to become more expensive. So in the very long run, like let's say 5 years or 10 years from today, the property prices cannot be projected that far, but we can always look back. If you look 10 years behind or 5 years behind, property prices have always gone up in Dubai, except the crisis time, which in 2008 it hurt everybody internationally. So, but before the crisis and after the crisis, the property prices have steadily grown up and it has become more valuable. I think in 10 years from now, the Al Furjan property that is for 1 million dirham is going to be for 1.5 million. So that's a very good increase on its value. So if there are investors that are looking for property, buy it today instead of waiting for another month or 2 or 3 years and all that. So I think it's a good time to buy.
Thank you, Fahad, and we're so glad to have you today. And
Well,
have a nice day.
Thank you for having me here. Very good to talk to you. Thank you.
You.